I'm not ready. I gotta finish my snack. Hey, welcome to the Ariel Show. Thanks so much for watching. Hannah on YouTube asks, Ariel, how do I love myself? Hannah, I love you so much. I just wish I could put all my love for you from in here straight into your heart and you could just carry it around and feel great about yourself. But you guys, that's not how it works, and Hannah is spot on in asking this question because that says that it's actually on her radar. And for most of us though, it's not on our radar. Most of us, we feel a little bored, a little stuck, lethargic, and some of us feel a lot worse than that. We're kind of miserable and we kind of hate our lives, but we don't realize that oftentimes the culprit is connected to the way that we feel about ourselves. When I made that connection a few years back, it changed my whole freaking life, you guys. When I realized like, oh, my miserableness, my sadness is connected to hating myself. Like light bulb, wow. You guys, this thing with self-love, it's a thing. Self-love is a thing and nobody freaking knows that yet. A lot of times the misconception is that you're unique in your situation with not really feeling all that great about yourself, and you think, oh, if I looked like him or if I had her job, like, dude, I'd feel great. I would wake up and just my life would rock. That's not the way it works. Unfortunately, the sad thing about this is that it's kind of an epidemic that, like, I think marketing and consumerism has really helped create for us so that we buy more products to help us feel better about ourselves. But the fact is that we have to deal with this, and everybody is affected. Nobody is immune to this disease, but you don't have to let it take you over. You don't have to let it control you anymore. So Hannah, today I've come up with some really easy, practical steps that you can take, because something as kind of abstract and vague as like self-love, it's very internal. You know, it's like an internal journey, and sometimes you don't really know where to begin, and so it helps to have like steps outlined, like step 1, step 2, super easy, super practical, and not just like this ethereal thing. So we get to do something really fun. We get to change our lives and we get to practice feeling good about ourselves, practice feeling good about our lives. How do you do that? One thing you can do is just be like on the lookout for ways that self-hatred, self-loathing creeps up into your own life. So for a lot of us, it's something like we deflect a compliment, we don't let it soak in, or we will say something really mean about ourselves, or maybe we'll take really crappy care of ourselves. And a really easy first step is just don't let yourself say mean things about yourself or to yourself. So this means when you get like a D on a paper, you can't be like, oh my god, I'm such a freaking idiot. You can't say that anymore. Or if you're on your way home from a coffee date, you can't be overanalyzing all the stupid things that you just said and why you just made a complete fool of yourself in front of this person. We're not allowed to do that anymore. That's not gonna foster this self-loving environment that we want. So just start catching yourself and very gently say to yourself, oh, this isn't how I want to speak to myself. Oh, these aren't the thoughts I want to think about myself. What you can't do here is be mean to yourself about being mean to yourself. Very lovingly be like, oh, Ariel, we're actually not going to talk about ourselves that way. We're going to instead say something really nice about ourselves. And this is another great thing. If you think something like, I'm an awful person, if that thought pops into your head and you actually have the luxury of hearing yourself think it, which means that you've been practicing. Because side note, most of us don't realize that we're thinking, we just think the thought, I'm an awful person, and we kind of follow that train down the line and it starts affecting our lives and we begin to believe it. So instead, if you can hear the thought, I'm an awful person, you'll be like, oh, I just had that thought, I'm an awful person. Like that's a big revelation to even have that. But then you can kind of like slow the train down, stop it, be like, wait a minute. That's not something that I really want to be thinking about myself. I actually want to be having thoughts about like how freaking awesome I am. So do that. Practice thinking how freaking awesome you are when you catch it. So the thought, I'm an awful person, pops into your head. You're instead going to go like way out of the way, like crazy over here, and you're going to tip the scale and balance it. So you're going to think something crazy that sounds like this. I am so wonderful. The world is so lucky to have me. I wake up and I do great work in the world. Everybody loves me. I love myself. I love getting to be myself. I freaking rock. I keep getting better. Oh my god, it's just amazing to be me. Okay, so you're not gonna actually like think those thoughts and actually believe them, but that doesn't really matter here, guys. You just have to think them, and you'll get better at this the more you practice. In the beginning, you might just be able to think, I am a good person. Like that's all you can get out, but the more you do it, like the more elaborate and the more like fun you can have with this, just going over the top, thinking like craziness, you're not actually gonna become like a super vain, egotistical person who goes off the deep end and like loves yourself in this crazy, unhealthy way. That's not what we're talking about. But just practice having having fun with it, about seeing what nice things you can think about yourself. If it helps for you to say it out loud, totally do that. And you guys, I've really found that catching that negative thought and then dramatically over the top kind of rewriting that line, saying something over the top amazing, really helps kind of balance me out. And the more that you do this, the better that you'll get at it. Another way sometimes that self-hatred can show up in our lives is we just feel really bad about the lives that we're living. And we're constantly thinking about, oh my gosh, I'm such a loser, I have such a stupid job, I don't have enough friends. Like, it's very easy to get caught up down that just crazy path and just be thinking negative things about ourselves all day long. And so you want to catch the thoughts and you want to actually like rewrite them and be like, no, I'm awesome. But if your life really is not what you want it to be, like, change your life. You can do that. You're in the driver's seat of your own life. If you don't love the way that you're spending your time or your money or your heart, or you know that you have more to offer the world than what you're currently sharing with us, like, please reconsider that. Like, revisit if this is how you want to be living. Maybe you need to drop out of the college that you're only going to because your parents are paying for it. Maybe you need to like take a risk and set up your Etsy shop and start offering your creative heart with the world. Start making these positive changes in your life where you can honestly feel good about them, where you're going to sleep thinking, this is my life and I'm happy to be living it. And you're waking up thinking, I'm gonna do amazing stuff today and I'm actually really grateful to get to be myself. And those are the kinds of things that are coming to you, that are on their way to you when you start living in this way, adding more love. There is so much more content. You guys, I've got like pages of notes here and I said like 2 things because I just can't fit it all in. But I wrote a book about it, so I don't have to fit it all in. And I'm doing everything I can to get this thing into your hands as soon as possible. It's all about my own self-love journey, basically, like from self-loathing to self-celebration, self-abration, which is not what I'm calling the book because I just made that up. Hashtag self-abration. So Hannah and everyone watching, I hope that was helpful for you and you enjoyed that. And of course, today's episode wouldn't even be a thing if it were not for my amazing patrons. I want to give a quick shout out to 4 of them right now. Big thank you to Corey, Dylan, Lalila, and Amber. I love you. Thanks for being a part of the family. If you're watching and you're not a part of our amazing secret cult yet, you need to get on it. Basically, you help keep the Ariel show free and accessible and like a reality for everyone else. So if the show has helped you or somebody that you know and you want to keep seeing it, you basically just jump on the team. You can give like $1 a video, not even a big deal. You get to do awesome special events with us like virtual slumber parties, and actually right now is an amazing time to join because we have a new goal. We are saving up for this super fancy camera. Here is a picture. This super fancy camera will allow us to cut our setup time basically in half. Right now we're spending a lot of time researching, playing around with lighting, doing all the fancy camera settings. And so we need the camera that takes care of it for you, that makes it easy for people like me. So please help us make this a reality. Thanks so much for watching today. Here's your chance to subscribe. I love you. See you next time. Bye.